okay? I don't know what the fuck this ship is doing. We're safe and protected no matter where we go. We pay attention. We pay attention to everything. We have to pay attention. You can't just waddle through life. If you do, okay. I have actually witnessed a few folks who bumble through and they do okay. What does the old saying go? God is with the children and the drunks? All right. I guess there was a period in my life where I was medicating with alcohol. And, yeah, there were many days where I woke up in my bed and I couldn't remember how I walked home. And thank God I walked home. But, you know, I did the smart thing. When I realized that I needed to medicate, I gave up driving because there had been a few occasions where I was tempted to get in the car and drive under the influence, not drunk, but with a little bit of alcohol in me. And I noticed how it did impair my ability to operate the vehicle. And I liked driving. I didn't want to lose my privilege to drive, but I knew that all of the horrible things that I had to heal, it was going to take time. And I was going to not use pharmatox, medical, industrial, biological, pharmaceutical complex, to assist me with that. I had tried Wellbutrin years ago, and the genius fucking doctor said, oh, well, you know, we can get you a little bit of help with the depression under the guise of they're now using the Wellbutrin to help people quit smoking. So because you smoke occasionally, we'll just put it in for the insurance and say, so everybody can make some money here, right? I took that crap. I felt so weird taking that stuff. I flushed the fucking shit down the toilet. I wish I wouldn't even flushed it down the toilet. I wish I would have taken it back and fucking threw it at them. That they would put that fucking poison in anybody's body. All those pharmaceuticals. None of it is good. None of it. There is no such thing as incurable. So today I'll be voting out the head cockroach. And Mr. Johnson is the guy that, I don't know very much about him, but it's just my gut feeling. New Earth Order. Left wing, right wing, same bird. Democrats, Republicans, they're all bought and sold, paid, corrupt. Just the two different variations of a different theme. And so, good riddance to all of you. Can't wait until 2075 when we finally have councils instead of governments. Local councils, and then an Earth Council, a new Earth Council that interacts with the Galactic Council, and our Earth can finally be welcomed into the Galactic Order. That's the day, you know, if I should stay on this planet that long, that's the day I'm living to see. When the children can run free on this planet and go anywhere, and you don't need a fucking ID card or passport. You don't have to prove anything, because the truth is, just like the birds, I listen to the cardinals, I feed the bunnies, feed the birds. Hell, I'm not even mad at the rats that I see running through the alley. Okay? This is our planet. We were born here. Who convinced us that we have to pay to live on our fucking planet? Where the hell did all this stuff get so twisted? And yes, people need to hear this. And I'm sorry if it sounds abrasive. I don't care if it sounds abrasive. I'm not sorry. You know what? The whole notion that everything should be said in loving, soft, gentle, oh, baby, get out of bed, wake up. No. You know what? Some motherfuckers need some cold ice water on them to wake them the hell up. Because you know what? The alternative is they're coming for you. They are coming for you, and they're going to send you to the glue factory or the meat grinder. Do you understand? It's called tyranny. Tyranny. And anybody who thinks that it can't happen to us here as Americans in the United States of America, that is your ego talking. Because once they get everybody else, that's who they're going to go for. They're going to go for the low-hanging fruit, the easy target, like a sniper, and take them all out. And then they're going to come for us. And we should not fool ourselves. Self-deception. You know, you stand by and you watch all your neighbors get picked off. And you turn a blind eye, or you turn your cheek to them. If you're telling yourself that they're not going to come for you because you got the stronger house or the bigger fence or whatever, wait, they're just going to bring in a bigger bulldozer and a bigger tank. That's it. So, yeah, it's strange to be out here. So, and I have to do battle with this property management company who won't help me out. So, they're trying to push through this pipe that exploded in the wall and say that it's a renter's insurance thing, and I flatly disagree. Now, it may seem on the surface like, why should I care about this? But you know what? I'm not a corrupt person. And I'm not going to blindly or passively be coerced into participating in some form of corruption. What I feel is that there needs to be an investigation to find out exactly what were the contributing factors to the pipe exploding, sending 140-degree steam into my apartment, bubbling the paint, and damaging every single thing that I know, that I own, that I have. Everything was wet. Thank God I was out of town. I couldn't stay in the apartment that night because everything was soaked. There was absolutely no way to do that. I had to go stay 18 miles away in a China House hotel until the morning when I could finally get back up to where I live and met with my housing advocate, who unfortunately did not come and see the damage for herself, which hindsight is 20/20. You know, it's so amazing how we just all assume that, oh, because there's a good attitude involved here, that everything's going to be okay and everybody's going to do the right thing. And so I forgive her for making the common assumptions. There you go again. You know, we shouldn't assume anything. And it's always been in my nature. I want to see stuff for myself. You know, I don't like taking secondhand information because people are not as accurate as I am. They're not as correct. And then it's all covered with their emotional issues. It's colored with their agendas, you know. So, and that leaves you in a very vulnerable, insecure place if you don't go witness something for yourself. See it for yourself. See what's happening on the border. Go over to Europe and see what's happening in Ukraine. Don't just take somebody's word for shit. You know, with their agenda, they have you do, oh, you're giving your money. You don't know who the fuck you're helping. So, you know, we had this whole 20-year-long Afghanistan and Iraq thing. So, you know, I'm standing out back, putting out stuff, giving away stuff that I don't want anymore, and things that are semi-damaged. And some dude comes walking by through the parking alley area behind my apartment complex. Handsome guy. Handsome. And I'm just dumbfounded that he's trying to chat me up. Okay? Well, one thing leads to another. I offer him a cup of coffee, hint, hint. And after the fact, I find out he's been in our country for a little bit more than a year. And he's Afghani, born in Afghanistan, in his mid-40s. I can't understand his name, but he's nice enough, and he's very handsome and very attractive, and very smart. He's got tattoos on his arm and on his chest, and they're in English. They're not in Afghani. It says something like, "In God we trust." And he speaks very little English, very poor English. And the very last thing he tells me as he's leaving my home is that he was military. He didn't say which one, okay? Afghan military, Taliban, U.S. military. I'm thinking he was working for the U.S. military. Special operations, he says. Sniper. Doesn't intimidate or scare me, because I use my discernment meter, and all I can get from him is that he said he was born in July. So I'm thinking late July. I'm thinking of the Leo part of July. Just by the energies and the mannerisms and the behavior, this guy knew exactly what he wanted and how he wanted it. So, but, you know, culturally, over there, I think he would have been put in jail or worse, hung, murdered, you know, for homosexuality. And I couldn't blame him. He's got liberty and freedom here that he doesn't know. He's never known. So, nothing wrong with any of that. But instead of us going into other countries stealing the opioids, because that's where the poppies came from, folks. That's why we have it's our pharmaceutical companies, pharmaceutical industrial complex, that used our military to go into these countries to harvest opium, poppies. It's the most abundant place on the planet for poppies, Afghanistan, not China. Okay? And then we have this opioid addiction explosion here in our country. And who made all the billions and billions of dollars? Right? Sponsored by Pfizer. Fuck Pfizer. Take them down. Our U.S. military special ops needs to go in and invade all of this pharmaceutical, medical, industrial, biological complex because they're trying to it's a slow death. These sick fuckers. And you know, I saw it years ago, working in 2005 at a trade show. These two dudes, older dudes, and they were from Boston. And I forget what the conference was exactly, but the way they talked about the rest of us, and the way they patronized me as being such a, you know, smart, useful tool, as they operated their booth and they went out to lunch and they took a 2-hour lunch and left me there and I pimped their wares or whatever it was that they were selling. I don't know. I don't remember anymore. But it left this impression on me that they basically were going to live high on the hog, live the high life here in Massachusetts on the ocean there, and they did not care about the rest of us, and they did not care about the future generations. And they just figured that by the time they left the planet, that they would hoard enough to protect their offspring, whoever they left behind. And their offspring would carry on in their same tradition of not caring about the rest of humanity. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. I walk this planet and I see every child as my child. I don't need to make a fucking baby. I don't come here to fucking make babies. That's fucking immature bullshit. Anybody can make a fucking baby. Any idiot fucking moron. Alright? But to raise a fucking beautiful human being that fucking cares about other human beings, that takes a fucking effort. That takes some thought. And you don't need to make a fucking baby to do that. If I had my way, I would adopt children. I wanted to. That is what I wanted in my early 40s. But I couldn't find a fucking moron with his head screwed on straight to join me in that. I don't want to do it alone. I can't do it alone. I don't want to pay somebody. I want a child to grow up in a household where there's two people that love him. I don't want daughters. It's for somebody else to, my friend Fee. She's the one with the vision of the girls. You go raise the girls, I'll raise my boys. And I'll make them decent human beings who don't just see your daughters as something to be used, a cum dump. So, It's raw and real here, transparency, folks. Be kind to pedestrians. I've had 2 beautiful incidents, actually, where people stopped for me. I've got to report that. And then about 12 hours later, some other idiot went and literally nearly ran over my toes in the crosswalk, and I had the right of way. So, but I'm going to cast that out there that it's getting better because I'm raising consciousness and awareness around. Be kind to the cyclists, the pedestrians, and the elderly especially. The aggressive driving is very frightening to them. For me, it just aggravates me, and it makes me mad, and it makes me wish that I had like a BB gun or something to shoot your ass with, bust out your windows for being so unkind to me, when somebody could be doing that to your brother, your father, your son, or the love of your life. Imagine that, okay? Being that aggressive, nearly taking my life with their vehicle, sitting there in a heated, air-conditioned vehicle while I'm out here with my fucking nuts in the fucking 12-degree weather. Assholes. All of you. Drivers. I don't give a fuck. You need to hear it. And you need to start controlling yourself the way I have to control myself, okay? Can't just lash out at everybody. But just the same way I exercised some maturity and I gave up driving the car because I didn't want to hurt anybody else. If I hurt myself with my alcohol use, with my medicating with alcohol, that's my prerogative. That is my right, my choice, my privilege. But I don't have the right to just be careless and advertently or inadvertently harm another human being. And that's what you drivers do when you are in such a hurry to make the fucking red light. It is so amazing how people speed into the red light. What is that about? Examine your psychopathy, people. What the fuck? So, it's an I don't give a fuck day, but we have some sunshine. Here come the crows. I didn't bring any eggs for the crows. Hard-boiled eggs for your crows, folks. It's a great offering. Spiritually, there's some magic in that. Positive, good magic. None of my ex's bullshit where you're playing with fire. Him and his fairies. He is a fucking fairy. He's got a lot of apologizing to do to me before I ever change my attitude towards him. Yeah. Whole different story for a different day there. At any rate, Avion-Marie signing off. 28 February. We're 2 months, 2/12, 1/6 the way through 2023. And today I'm going to purge all this stuff that you've heard. I'm going to purge this energy from my system. And we're coming into the next 20 days. Go listen to Braca Goldsmith. Maybe I'll try to put the link up there. Listen to Braca and listen to Michelle Patterson this week. There's good information on how to leverage the next 28 to 30 days into March the 21st, into the spring solstice. The solstice. I did like that movie, even though it's by the Kabbalah, it's satanic. And Timberlake is one of them. Poor Madonna. How sad. They all got co-opted. But, on how we can really use this time you can shed your skin like a snake and become an entirely different person. You no longer have to be attached to anything that you have been. I'm excited about this. I'm letting go of my earth family. I'm letting go of the soul connection to those people, to those souls. And I'm becoming a free bird. I'm going to take a picture of my painting, which I call Freebird. And I think I'll use that as the cover photo for this video, Freebird. And I'm going to dance and sing. And I'm going to set myself free. And in so doing, I'm going to set other people free by letting them see what this looks like. That is my goal. That is my intention. And all the happiness, joy, love, sex, and everything that has not been a part of my life, I am going to soak that up like a big fucking sponge. Here it comes. Look out.